So close to the summit now.
Tasmania is, without a doubt, my favorite place in Australia. Toward the end of 2024, we set out on an epic 3-week adventure, driving all around the island from top to bottom. This was my third visit to Tassie, and I fall in love with it little more each time I come back. There's a magic here that keeps pulling me back, and I know for sure I'll be back again. So in this video I'm going to take you day by day through our full 20-day loop around the island, show you the maps, driving routes, and share exactly what we did, including side trips and camping locations, so you can use all of these ideas for your own itinerary. This video is perfect for hikers and nature lovers, taking you through Tasmania's best national parks and some of the most scenic trails you'll find on the island. I've vlogged the whole adventure, and you'll find a link to the full playlist from this trip in the description box and the comment section if you like to see more detailed videos from each spot. So here's a look at the full route we followed around Tasmania. As you can see, we started our trip from the north of the island and decided to travel in counterclockwise direction. Feel free to pause the video to check out the map in more detail. Because we wanted to soak in more time in Tasmania, we decided not to fly. Instead, we drove from Sydney down to Geelong and took the daytime Spirit of Tasmania crossing into Devonport.
We're just about to board the Spirit of Tasmania. It's first time on a ferry. We're really excited.
The ferry ride is an experience in itself. On the Spirit of Tasmania, you can drive your car or van on board, settle in, enjoy the ocean view and onboard facilities, and arrive in Tasmania ready for adventure. The journey across Bass Strait takes around 9 to 11 hours, depending on the season and sea conditions. The Spirit of Tasmania is a big ship with several passenger decks, and there's plenty to do while you're on board. There are lounges where you can relax, restaurants and bars serving food and drinks, a small cinema, and plenty of open deck space to take in ocean views. You can choose between private cabins or reclining seats if you prefer to rest during the crossing. After spending a night in Devonport, we had an early start the next morning and drove straight to Cradle Mountain to begin our 3-day hiking adventure. Cradle Mountain is one of Tasmania's most iconic destinations and a place that absolutely deserves a spot on every itinerary. It's part of the World Heritage listed Cradle Mountain-Lake St Clair National Park, known for its dramatic alpine scenery, ancient rainforest and glacial lakes. It's also the starting point of the famous Overland Track, one of Australia's greatest multi-day hikes.
And guide Alice is also with us, showing us the way and manifesting the sunshine for us because it's very, very windy.
So the plan was simple but very exciting. Climb to the summit of Cradle Mountain on the first day, spend the night at the Waterfall Valley Hut, then continue to the summit of Barn Bluff on the second day and stay at the Scott Kilvert Hut. On the third day we would return to Dove Lake via Hanson's Peak. Unfortunately, as you can probably see from the footage, the weather turned against us.
Woo! We're getting absolutely destroyed, demolished today.
For 2 days straight we were hit by heavy rain and strong winds, which made both Cradle and Barn summits unreachable, but on the third day the skies finally cleared and we were rewarded with incredible views on the hike back from Scott Kilvert Hut to Dove Lake.
Our first summit in Cradle Mountain.
If you're visiting Cradle Mountain and not planning an overnight hike, there are still plenty of fantastic day walks to choose from. The most famous is the Dove Lake Circuit, a 6-kilometer Grade 2 track that takes you around the lake with amazing views of Cradle Mountain from start to finish. It's an easy and incredibly scenic walk suitable for everyone. If you have time and want something more challenging, I highly recommend Cradle Mountain Summit hike. There are a few different ways to reach the top. You can start from the Ronnie Creek and ascend via Crater Lake and Marion's Lookout, or take the steeper route up Hanson's Peak for a tougher but equally rewarding climb. After finishing our 3-day hiking adventure in Cradle Mountain, we drove north to the charming coastal town of Stanley, where we stayed for the night at the historic Stanley Hotel.
We just arrived to the little town called Stanley, and they are having some Christmas event downstairs, as you can hear.
Stanley is a lovely coastal village on the northwest tip of Tasmania. It is famous for its heritage cottages, peaceful setting, and the Nut, an impressive volcanic plug that towers over the town. The next morning we set out to explore the area. We started with a walk through the town and a picnic on a peaceful Godfrey's Beach before heading up to the Nut State Reserve, which is the main highlight of Stanley. You can either take a short but steep walking track to the top, or hop on a chairlift if you rather enjoy the views without the climb. Once you're up there, a scenic 2.3 km circuit trail loops around the plateau, offering incredible views of the Bass Strait, the rugged coastline, and the green rolling hills that surround the town. On a clear day, you can even see as far as the Rocky Cape National Park in the distance. The walk itself is very easy, and it takes about 30 to 45 minutes to complete at a relaxed pace. The coastline in this part of Tasmania is absolutely stunning, and looking back at our itinerary, we probably should have stayed an extra day here to explore more of it. If you have time, it's well worth checking out nearby spots like Bruny, Penguin, or Rocky Cape National Park. After our quick adventure in Stanley, we stocked up on supplies at Woolworths in Smithton and continued our journey south toward the remote town of Corinna. After a long but incredibly scenic drive along Norfolk Road, we arrived at the tiny and remote town of Corinna, located deep within Tasmania West Coast wilderness. We are lucky enough to find a beautiful camping spot right on the banks of the Pieman River, surrounded by dense rainforest. Corinna feels like stepping back in time. It's an old gold mining settlement turned into eco-village, and today it serves as a peaceful base for exploring this untouched part of Tasmania. In addition to campsites, the Corinna Wilderness Village offers a range of accommodation options, from rustic cottages to comfortable eco-cabins, all designed to blend into the natural surroundings. This is definitely another place we wished we had stayed longer, as there's so much to see and do here. One of the best experiences is kayaking along the Pieman River, which we booked for the next morning.
So we're setting off on our kayak adventure along the Pieman River. We've got experienced captain in front of us, leading the way, Captain Alice.
We paddled through calm waters of Pieman River, surrounded by thick rainforest, stopped briefly at the mouth of the Savage River, and continue all the way to Lovers Falls, a quiet hidden waterfall accessible only by boat or kayak. After returning from the kayaking trip, we had lunch and went for a short stroll along the Huon Pine Walk that takes about 15 minutes to complete and showcases some of the oldest Huon pines in Tasmania, some estimated to be over 1,000 years old. Later that afternoon, we crossed the river on a historic Fatman barge, the only cable-operated vehicle ferry in Tasmania, and continue our journey toward Tullah along the scenic Pieman Road. Our next stop was the quiet lakeside town of Tullah, set on the shores of beautiful Lake Roseberry.
So we have just arrived at the Tullah Lakeside Lodge, checked into our room. Here's our room number 40.
Tullah is a small quiet town on Tasmania's west coast that was originally established in the early 1900s as a mining settlement for the silver and lead. It later became an important base for workers involved in the construction of the Pieman hydroelectric scheme, a major project in the 1970s and 80s that built dams and power stations across Tasmania's west coast to generate renewable energy. Today it's a peaceful lakeside town surrounded by rainforest, mountains and waterways, making it a great base for exploring the western wilderness. The area offers easy access to Lake Rosebery, Mount Murchison, and several excellent hiking trails, as well as opportunities for fishing, kayaking, and photography. The next morning we planned to visit Montezuma Falls, which is actually the tallest waterfall in Tasmania at over 100 meters high. Unfortunately, the track was closed during our visit, so instead we decided to tackle what turned out to be one of the biggest highlights of our entire trip, the Mount Murchison summit hike.
So we're here at the Mount Murchison trailhead. This is a short and steep trail with 500 plus meters of elevation, which gets you to the summit of Mount Murchison at the 1275 meters high. So this is really short but very steep. Apparently it's not an easy trail, it's a hard trail. So it should take about 5 hours to finish it. It's a beautiful day. In Tassie we have about 25-26 degrees. We've got beautiful views opening up, and once again we have experienced guide Alice leading us to the summit of Mount Murchison, so we're all in a good spirit and we can make it before the clouds arrive. That's amazing.
Mount Murchison rises over 1200 meters above sea level and offers some of the most breathtaking alpine scenery in the state. The trail is around 6 kilometers return, but it's definitely a challenging climb with very steep and exposed sections that require a good fitness and confidence in a rocky terrain. The route takes you through rainforest and alpine scrub, then up onto open ridgelines. The views from the top are absolutely spectacular, especially on a clear day when you can see as far as Cradle Mountain, Barn Bluff, and the surrounding wilderness stretching to the horizon. If Mount Murchison sounds a little too demanding, there are several great alternatives nearby. You can visit Montezuma Falls or take on the Mount Forel Summit Trail, which is shorter and offers stunning views of the surrounding valleys.
Why are you eating my ice cream?
Next stop was Queenstown, a town shaped by its mining past and surrounded by dramatic hills and valleys that seems almost out of this world. Once a major center for copper mining, Queenstown played a key role in Tasmania's industrial development, and its striking orange slopes are a visible reminder of the area's long mining past.
So this is the first mine site on the Mount IL. So we have a beautiful lookout here overlooking the mine. They've been extracting copper here. Let's just have a quick look. It's very windy, so we're not going to be here for a long time.
We had originally planned to stay here for a couple of days, but heavy rain forced us to shorten our visit. We still managed to stop at the Iron Blow Lookout, one of the best viewpoints in a region, where you can see the massive open cut mine and its vivid turquoise water framed by steep rock walls. Not far from there, we caught a glimpse of Horsetail Falls, cascading gracefully down the mountainside after the rain. There's plenty more to explore in and around Queenstown. If the weather's on your side, you can take a ride on a West Coast Wilderness Railway. The town also features a few heritage buildings, art galleries, and cozy cafes. After a brief visit to Queenstown, we continue east along the Lyell Highway toward Mountfield National Park, stopping at Nelson's Falls along the way.
It's a beautiful rainforest. We've got some sun coming through. We've got the rain, which is part of the experience. That looks really nice.
The short rainforest walk to the falls is one of Tasmania's most beautiful and easy 1.4 kilometer return trail that winds through mossy forest before reaching a stunning 30-meter waterfall surrounded by beautiful ferns and greenery.
So here's the beautiful Nelson's Falls. Looks even more majestic after the rain. So it was actually perfect timing to get here.
Our next stop was Mountfield National Park, where we stayed for 4 nights at the Mountfield campground. It was the perfect place to slow down a bit. Our pace through western Tasmania had been quite full on, and this felt like the perfect spot to relax and recharge. The campground sits right beside the Tyana River, surrounded by forest, and has excellent facilities. It's also one of the best bases for exploring both the national park and the nearby attractions. Right next to the campground is the famous Three Falls Circuit, a must-do walk that showcases the park's lush rainforest and cascading waterfalls. The trail is around 6 kilometers long and takes you past Russell Falls, Horseshoe Falls, and Lady Baron Falls. The track winds through towering tree ferns and some of the tallest swamp gums in the world, creating that classic Tasmanian rainforest atmosphere. It's an easy to moderate walk and one of the best ways to experience the beauty of Mountfield up close.
So today we are going to do the Tarn Shelf Walk, which will be the whole day walk. It's about 15 kilometers with 700 meters, with 700 plus meters of elevation.
The highlight of our stay here though was hiking the Tarn Shelf Circuit, one of the most spectacular alpine walks in Tasmania. The Tarn Shelf Circuit is a full loop of about 16.3 kilometers with an elevation gain of over 700 meters, typically taking 6 to 7 hours. The hike starts from the Lake Dobson car park, passing through Pandani Grove, where you see the world's tallest heat plant and a lush alpine undergrowth that sets the tone for the rest of the hike. One of the most stunning sections of the trail is the Tarn Shelf track, which takes you past a series of glacial lakes including Robert Tarn, Mackenzie Tarn, Johnson Tarn, Backhouse Tarn and Lake Newdigate. From the movie. Taste check of the peri peri. Continuing along the Newdigate track, you also passed Twisted Tarn and Twilight Tarn, home to a small hut built in 1927 showcasing early skiing and bushwalking history. The return journey follows the Lake Webster track, descending through dense mossy forest with optional side trips to Lake Seal and Platypus Tarn for those with extra time and energy. The circuit closes back through Pandani Grove and past Eagle Tarn, a peaceful alpine lake that makes a perfect end to the hike. This trail offers an incredible mix of alpine scenery, historic huts, and reflective glacial lakes. We also took a scenic drive out toward Gordon Dam, which I would highly recommend if you have a spare day. Along the way, there are several great stops: Ted's Beach at Lake Pedder, where you can stop for rest and go for a swim.
Beautiful day in Tassie. Getting ready to submerge.
Crocodile!
Moving on further west, we have arrived at the Lake Pedder Lookout. Beautiful views over the mountain range of Southwest National Park. Our next stop is at the Knob Hill Lookout. Beautiful view from here, overlooking the Lake Gordon, looking eastward and westward towards the Gordon Dam.
The drive ends at the Gordon Dam an engineering marvel standing 140 meters high, one of the tallest in Australia. Walking along the dam wall gives you an amazing sense of scale and a real appreciation for how vast and wild this part of Tasmania is.
Beautiful views. You can walk all the way till the end of the dam. I think it was really worth to come here, hiking the Gordon Dam.
Our next stop was Hobart, Tasmania's capital, known for its stunning riverfront and vibrant culture. The city stretches along the Derwent River, with Mount Wellington rising in the background and the Tasman Bridge spanning across the water, creating a striking cityscape. One of the highlights of every visit to Hobart is driving up to the summit of Mount Wellington. The drive from the city takes about 30 minutes, and the views at the top are incredible. You can see the whole city, Derwent River, and all the surrounding mountains and forests. There are multiple lookout points at the top and short walking trails, which are perfect for stretching your legs while taking in the panorama. While we were in Hobart, we also took a day trip to Bruny Island. The island is just a short ferry ride from Kettering, south of Hobart, and it's packed with stunning scenery. Our first stop was Den Point and Nebraska Beach, a peaceful area with great views and calm waters, perfect for a short walk or a quick dip. After that, we enjoyed some fresh seafood at the Get Shacked Oysters, sampling a variety of locally harvested oysters right on the island. Next, we headed to the Neck and went for a short walk up the wooden staircase to Trunganini Lookout, which gives us sweeping 360-degree views of the surrounding beaches. After that, we visited Adventure Bay, a beautiful sheltered bay with picnic spots and plenty of space to relax. Our final stop was the Fluted Cape Walk, a 6.3-kilometer loop with some elevation that leads to a dramatic coastal cliffs. Even if you don't do the full circuit, walking to the grass point alone gives incredible views of the Penguin Island and surrounding coast. Bruny Island is a paradise for wildlife lovers. We are incredibly lucky to spot a rare white Bennett's wallaby during our walk, something that made our visit to the island even more special. If you have enough time during your trip around Tasmania, Tasman National Park is definitely worth adding to your itinerary. You could easily spend a few days exploring its dramatic coastline, sea cliffs, and unique rock formations. For a shorter visit, one of the best day hikes is a 10-kilometer Cape Howie walking track, which offers spectacular clifftop views and the chance to spot towering sea stacks. If you prefer something easier, the Tasman Arch to Waterfall Bay Walk is a shorter option that still showcases some of the park's iconic scenery and is the one we enjoyed on our first trip to Tasmania. Another great day trip is Maria Island, which we also visited a few years ago. The island is full of natural and historic highlights, making it easy to fill a whole day. Renting a mountain bike is a perfect way to explore it quickly, but there are also several scenic walks on the island. You can hike to the summit of Bishop and Clerk for sweeping views of the surrounding coast, wander along the painted cliffs to see the striking natural colors carved by the wind and waves, and keep an eye out for friendly wombats that roam freely across the island. History enthusiasts can also explore the old convict ruins and historic buildings scattered around the island, adding another layer to the experience. Freycinet National Park is one of Tasmania's most iconic destinations and an absolute must-see. During our last trip, we camped for a few nights right along the coastline of Coast Bay, which made it easy to explore the park and enjoy the stunning views. The beaches here are some of the best in Tasmania, with soft sand, turquoise waters, and dramatic granite rock formations. Freycinet is a hiker's paradise, offering trails that range from easy walks to challenging climbs. The iconic Wineglass Bay track is a standout, leading to one of Tasmania's most photographed beaches. During our visit, we hiked all the way down to the bay and spent the night camping at the far end, a memory that stands out as one of the best of our trip.
Here it is, Mount Amos track. If you guys want to come here, look at this guy. We did it a couple of years ago, it was so much fun.
Mount Amos is hands down the most thrilling hike in Freycinet. The climb is steep and demanding, with sections that require a bit of rock scrambling, but once you reach the top, you'll be blown away by the sweeping views over Wineglass Bay and the glittering coastline beyond. It's not a trail to take lightly, but if you're up for the challenge, the payoff is unforgettable. If you are an experienced hiker chasing a real challenge, the Freycinet Peninsula Circuit is the ultimate way to explore the park. This 30-kilometer loop winds through untouched landscapes, climbing past Mount Freycinet and weaving between hidden beaches and dramatic coastal cliffs. After Freycinet, you can head north to the Bay of Fires, one of Tasmania's most serene and visually striking coastal regions. This area is perfect for travelers looking for a more relaxed pace, pristine white beaches, crystal clear waters, and a vibrant orange-hue granite boulders, making an ideal spot to unwind and reconnect with the nature. Binalong Bay is the main hub and a great base for exploring the area. From here you can take easy walks along the coast, stroll across secluded beaches, or simply relax on the sand and soak in the views. Our final stop on this Tasmania road trip was Ben Lomond National Park, where we spent the night at Griffin's campground. We had actually planned to finish the trip with the famous Walls of Jerusalem overnight hike, but the weather in that part of Tasmania turned out really rough, so we decided to come here instead. The next day we set out on a day hike from Carvilla to Lake Store via Misery Bluff.
So here we are at the Ben Lomond National Park. We're gonna see what's out here. Already beautiful views opening up. It's a bit cloudy, but hopefully it's not gonna rain, so we get to see something. It's a bit cloudy sea, but you can already see in the background beautiful mountains.
It's a tough trail with steep climbs and rocky terrain, but the alpine views along the way are absolutely worth it. The weather wasn't exactly on our side that day, and we didn't make it to the summit of Lake Store, but even so, the alpine scenery, low-hanging clouds, and surrounding valleys fading into the mist made it really a memorable hike.
So here it is, guys. We can finally see it. Misery Bluff on the way out.
Lake Store at 1572 meters is Tasmania's second highest peak, just behind Mount Ossa, and if you ever visit in winter, this whole area completely transforms, the slopes turn white, and Ben Lomond becomes Tasmania's main ski area, offering a whole new way to experience this national park. So that's the end of our journey around Tasmania. 20 days of hiking, exploring and chasing some of the most incredible scenery in Australia. This trip took a lot of planning and editing to bring together, so if you enjoyed following along, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. You will find a full Tasmania playlist linked in the description and the comments if you want to catch up on any of the other episodes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.